Hey, what's up? I want to tell you today is it's a keep your frequency high. Just keep it high. That is so important. That is so important to develop your life. Keep your frequency high. The ultimate thing that raises your frequency is your own heart. So you gotta vibrate your heart, and so that it moves. You get to emotionally emotionally comfortable, feel good things like listen to great music and maybe listen to a motivational podcast or watching really good movies. Not not initially watching TV drama show series of programs, and That's not good, but really good movie that has really dense, great message within to convey through the whole storytelling and and live actions. That raise your frequency. That helps you to raise your frequency. What raise your frequency really is your own heart. So you gotta keep your heart warm, and there is something you gotta avoid. You gotta avoid with all your might. That is something lower your frequency. And someone, being with people who have low frequency, that will distract you. It really is. It's that you don't want to underestimate the effect of lower frequency people. Even if you resist it mentally, even if you ignore intentionally, it still have influences. It still has influence on you, and that is eventually lower your frequency, and that is distraction. That's really bad thing. So you gotta avoid it, no matter what the circumstances are. You gotta avoid it. You gotta avoid to be with low frequency people. You gotta be with someone who has the same frequency or higher. That is unconditional. That's unnegotiable. You gotta hear, the podcast also the same. You gotta listen to someone who has high frequency only. Okay, don't listen to someone who has low frequency, and don't listen to any kind of complaint or blaming things. And that's not good for you. And if you have low frequency, you gotta start doubt your future. You gotta start doubt yourself. You gotta start doubt what you can do. Maybe I'm saying the same thing over and over, but when you're in a high frequency, it is natural for you to dream about your future, dream about your life. You don't hesitate to draw aggressive plan for the future. You don't care. You don't really receive it as a negative if a failure happens. If you're in a high frequency, you are really unbreakable, and you gotta stay in that frequency no matter what happens. and that is really significant to develop your life. So if you if you doubt yourself, or if you hesitate to draw a dream for you, you gotta doubt yourself. You gotta acknowledge that you are in a low frequency, and you gotta raise it. You gotta raise it to get out of that state. You gotta raise it to improve your life. If you have a high frequency, you just avoid to be with low frequency people that lower your frequency, and just listen or watch or stay with people who live the life you want to live. That's the key thing. That's the key factor to discern people, which one is good and which one is lower. You don't just sabotage yourself to settle lower. Okay, that's my message today. A better habit, better life. Your habit will honor, and I love you guys. See you in the next episode. Peace.